Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxshare, on the show this evening is the one and only GB and the king and queen of Rangers Radio, our Linda and the bridge. How are we doing, people?
Very well, Oxshare. Hope everybody else is well. Nice to be back on the show for the beginning of this season ahead.
Evening, GB. Evening, Linda. She's having a mare. She's doing a bridge, yeah? You need to have a word with her, GB. Evening, bridge. Oh, it looks as if this could be a quick show, me and you, GB.
That's it, mate. Crack on the champagne. We're good to go, mate.
Too complicated for them. How are you, mate?
Aye, good, mate. Good. It's good to see the Rangers back playing again. It's good to actually get to see it on the telly rather than reading it through YouTube and all the rest of it, Ox. But I think there's still work to be done, isn't there, after that game at the weekend?
I know, wasn't it? Listen, it was a pre-season. We've got to watch. We don't get too carried away. Some good, some bad, some good and indifferent. And let's hope that's Jack Butland got his game out the way for the rest of the season, GB.
I know. Especially when we're singing that Super Jack Butland and goal, and then the manager's coming out saying he's the one that he wants to keep running the place of utmost importance. So, going in that performance at the weekend, he might have been up for sale. But I know, like you say, it's pre-season, isn't it? Don't get me wrong, I thought that the kind of first half there was a bit of a game at Ox, but then the second half, as soon as Clement fired on all the youngsters, I think that was the game done, wasn't it? It's just basically about getting 4 minutes then. But like you say, some good bits, bad bits, and some bits you don't want to remember. A couple of good signings and stuff like that as well, showing that they've probably got a wee bit of potential there as well, which was good.
Aye, well, the boy Jeff, he showed he's got a bit of pace. Didn't see too much of him defensively. He got up and down. First reaction is he got a bit of pace. I'll still judge. I thought Diamandi played well. The rest of the back four were okay with it being great, just getting fitness. And the piece, the one that I did like the look of, and I'm only going on what I've seen on Saturday, and I'm not saying he's going to be a star or anything, but I thought Connor Barron was very neat and tidy, mate. He's passing in that. And then Scott Wright does what Scott Wright does, mate. Does brilliant work. Beats 3 and 4, and then nothing happens, mate. Doesn't score, doesn't make anything happening. So he had a couple of chances. But I suppose the guy everybody was talking about is the 2 saves for Liam Kelly.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? Like, when you look at Kelly and you look at Connor, they're like kind of the 2 signings where folk are like, they're just fillers, but they're actually starting to show that they've got to be really good signings in a sense, because the young boy, he talks so well. I mean, his interview after the game was brilliant again. Seems hungry to grab a shirt. Ox is, I mean, that's what we want to hear. We want to see a boy hungry to impress and to stamp his claim in that team. And then, like it says, Kelly comes on in the second half and a couple of great saves. Ox, I mean, shows that he's got to be pushing him.
Aye, well, I think Butland's a man. He didn't have a great game on Saturday, but Butland's a man. Anyway, hopefully we'll be joined by our Linda. Evening, Linda.
Evening, Oxshare. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, yes.
Yes, this doesn't bode well for the rest of the season.
No, but pre-season, Linda, pre-season.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe we'll need to get you a bigger button so you can see it.
Yes, that's true. I don't know what's happening. Some gremlins are about just now, but good evening, everyone, and I hope you're all keeping well.
Yes, and hopefully when it works out, the bridge will be back very soon. Hopefully he sorts things out.
I'm here now. So, like Linda, good evening to everybody, and hope everybody's doing very well. That's all I can say at the moment. Sorry for dropping out. I didn't mean to.
No, right, it's that. Bridge, a technical glitch. It's not like your good self, is it?
No, absolutely.
Right, we were just talking about the game at the weekend. No too high, no too low. It's a pre-season game, some good, some bad. GB did take that. I thought Conor Barron looked neat and tidy, Linda.
Yeah, definitely, Ox. He was kind of one of the sort of standout players, as you say, pre-season friendly. It kind of went the way that you would maybe expect, as you say, some good stuff, some bad stuff. Just all about getting minutes into the players' legs, and you don't want to go overboard in praise, and also you don't want to be too critical because it was a friendly Ox. But I thought the young lad, Conor Barron, was good. Yeah, definitely, it looks promising.
And we've got to send our wishes to Nico Raskin, Bridgeman. Geez, coming together. Maybe it was a foul, and the next thing you know, he's got a protected boot on, and hopefully the young man's not got anything long term.
I wonder if we'll be saying round about Christmas, will he be back for next year?
No.
It's unbelievable. I mean, just unbelievable. Seriously, young lad. Wow.
Can you make it up, GB? Yeah?
Oh, I mean, frightening things for last season creeping back into the game into Oxford, they kind of things. But let's just hope it's just a twisted ankle that needs a couple of weeks rest, and hopefully he's back, because I think this is the season where he's got to show it, Ox, for me.
Aye, well, he'll be in his third season with the club, Linda. He's, and he's maturing as an individual, and you're looking to get a wee bit better at him, but first and foremost, he's got to get fit, eh?
Yeah, I thought it was a poor challenge, Ox.
I don't disagree, Linda.
Yeah, see, when you watch the guy, he's actually come in from behind, and we don't want to start talking about the referees already, Bridgeman. We don't want to upset him, but there's some strange decisions in the game as well, Ox. I thought, that was a booking, and he handed out cards to some of the other challenges. But as I say, it was supposed to be a friendly, and I thought it was a poor challenge from the Ajax player.
I mean, the ref was the great. That's what happens when you're playing that. You get a local ref, But listen, we wish him all the best, Nico Raskin, and we didn't read too much into the game, but it's good to see the Rangers back, GB. Yeah.
Aye, Ox, that's what I was saying. It was good to see it back in the telly and that, and this is it starting to build up now. I mean, I've got Man United this weekend as well. I mean, we're going to get to see that. So it's good that the games are televised again. You get to actually see these signings in action. Hopefully the more of them, because I was actually expecting some of the new boys to get more of a run out at the weekend there, Ox, but maybe they've just got to kind of keep building up their fitness. Maybe hopefully this weekend we'll see more. But from, like you say, Yefty and that, and Conor Barron and all that, I think they didn't do themselves any harm at the weekend.
I didn't think Yefty was involved that much, but I thought he done okay. Nothing spectacular, but done okay. Bridgeman, it was good to see Danilo back in the park. Yeah?
Oh, wonderful. My heart lifted, by the way. I have to say, when I saw him, I think he's a smashing player. I think he'll be a really good star for us. I just hope he doesn't get carried away with the stardom and things like that when it comes his way, because it's got to come. I think he's a smashing player. I was glad to see him, and I'm glad to see the other guys as well, to be truthful. And I thought the boy Hefty on the left back position, I thought he was quite good, actually. I quite enjoyed it. Nothing too challenging, but I quite enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Danilo plays with a smile on his face, Linda, and obviously it's fair to say he's more mobile than Cyril Dessers. Yeah, different kind of players.
Yeah, Ox, and it was a shame for him coming to a new country last year, and he was settling in, and then he got that terrible cheek injury first. That was a terrible knock he got, and then he came back from that. And then I think it was St Johnstone away, wasn't it, on a not so great pitch. He's done his knee in, and that obviously put him out for the rest of the season, as we know. And, as I said, I think hopefully he can keep clear injuries. Bridge says you want him not, I don't think they'll push him too much. They'll take their time with him. And it's the old cliche, he's going to be like a new signing. And let's hope we're patient with him, but he gets back to full fitness and starts, firing in the goals, Ox, because we could do with him, couldn't we?
Aye. What have you read into the pre-season? Obviously, we're going to hear from the manager shortly. But, I mean, we haven't seen, obviously, Tav, we've heard he's got a knock. And what the manager said the weekend, I know you picked up in the GB, going to move people on before bringing people in. That wasn't a surprise to me. It's just pure economics. You can't go and sign 5 players and then have 5 you don't want sitting there and you can end up paying for 10 GB.
No, Ox, I mean, I think the club's always said every player's got their price, isn't it? It's just the market that we're in now. I think what maybe jumped us at folk was Mayor that Clermont said that when he came in that he was told kind of differently. But again, I think it's been taken out of context. As the days have went on, there's been other people came out and tried to clarify it a bit and stuff like that. So I think we'll just need to wait and see with this. I hope it's not the case, Ox, because if we're going with what we've got the now and we're getting players like, say, Tavernier and Todd Cantwell sitting, no getting involved in these games, then to me, then come the start of the season, we'll not be ready. Whereas we need to get these players out to get our squad ready for the start of the season.
Tav's got a knock, mate.
Supposedly, Ox. I mean, we'll go with what the club are saying, but like I say, this is seemingly Cantwell's got an issue and all that's not been announced. So I don't know. For me, they just need to get it sorted out quick, Ox, because like I say, this Champions League and all that's got to come down quick smart. And
mate, I'll say it again. It's the hardest thing to do in modern football, to get rid of people you don't want.
What I mean, Ox, is see if we're already kind of pushing these guys out the door or not giving them game time, then where's the motivation for them to actually go and play for our club? You know what I mean? That's
a manager's call, Linda. That's what he gets paid his wages for.
Yeah. I agree with what GB said about, the manager's interview, Ox, and people being unhappy. It was more about what he said, that what he was led to believe when he came in October. And I think, but sometimes, as he said, GB said, things are taken out of context, but that was the surprising thing. I don't think anybody's surprised with the fact that we will need to move players on before we can maybe bring in what we would consider not marquee signings, but signings that we're expecting. But the Tavern Cantwell one's an interesting one, Ox, because everybody thinks that perhaps there's moves afoot for them, but we just don't know, isn't it? It's all speculation.
No man will know what's there, man. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. Bridge, we've got to be prudent as well as sensible, and we've got to try and support the manager. It's a tightrope you walk constantly, isn't it?
Absolutely, Paul. Absolutely, innit? And me personally, I hope everybody that supports the Rangers supports the manager all the way through. And the board have got to start getting themselves into order and get supporting the manager, because there's nothing we can do. It's like a stalemate now we've reached. You're sitting there with a number of players that should be going, and another couple that you want to go, but they ain't moving. They 2 aren't moving, or 3, or whatever it be. I just hope all happens and gets smoothed out. The manager's got to be able to wheel and deal to a certain extent, make arrangements with the board to pay for the players he wants in. And if that means selling a player, 2 players, then go and do it. That's the best thing you can do, in my opinion. But very difficult. As you said, Oxford, most difficult thing in the world is to get rid of somebody that doesn't want to go.
Aye, modern football, especially if they're sitting with contracts that there may be no match elsewhere, and they've got a bit of time left them. A couple of years or 3 years in some cases. It's mental, but it's just the way the game is, Linda.
Yeah, and as we said before, the players do kind of hold all the cards to a certain extent, because if they want to sit and, they're on good contracts, they don't need to go. and also, as we've said before as well, clubs want to want to buy them, and then, as we say, going forward, we do need to generate some money, and we would like to move some players on. I think that's probably a given, Ox.
Well, since you've got a new pencil there, GB, we can take some notes when we hear the first part of the Philip Come On interview. Is that all right, mate?
Aye, of course, Ox.
Is it a pencil or a crayon, mate?
I need a sharpener to tell it, mate. I'll wait and go and get a sharpener for it. Ox, see now you're talking about moving players on. You're right, because there's Sam Lammers, right? Scored all the goals in Holland, right? But there's a night that Fielbert Murrow, he's moving to, I think it's Auxerre or something like that, 1.4 million, right? And you can imagine he's moving because he's on low wages, probably no long contract left, and all that. So it's an easy move then, isn't it? Whereas, bet you somebody coming in for Lammers is having to match the wages he's on at Rangers, and then they're having to strike a deal.
Aye.
And all that. So it's so much harder to move on.
Let's have a guess, and we're having a guess. If Lammers signed a 4-year contract with us last year and 20 grand a week, right? I'm just using that. I don't know, GB. Yeah? So he's sitting there with 3 million to quick up in wages. Somebody comes in and offers him 12 grand a week. Yeah? Are you walking away from 1.2 million?
No chance. I mean, it's they all say Ox short career and all that, but I mean, like it says, that £1 million can carry you for life, you mean?
Bridgeman, you're a money man. Are you walking away from 1.2 million?
With the greatest will in the world, I don't think any player, if anybody walked away from that, they must have a lot of money anyway to start with.
That's what I'm asking you.
Correct.
I'm asking you.
No, you just. I don't care how much money you get. You're not going to walk away for £1.5 million. You're not going to do it.
And that's what happens when you get it wrong. It's not so much sometimes with your recruitment, it's the contracts, Linda.
Yeah, I think we've said that a few times. It's been the length of the contracts and the wage bill that we've got. We were all surprised, or maybe we weren't, to hear last year that we had the highest wage bill in Scotland, despite the fact that some of these players couldn't deliver the trophies that we wanted, Ox, and I hope that doesn't sound too harsh, but it's reality. The only thing I would say about the Lammers, I wondered if you were surprised that we've punted. We seem to have put him in to train with the B team, Ox, and is that because it's just totally, it's irretrievable, or we can't reconcile with him at all, and we just think, well, he can't train with the first team?
Well, you don't know what was said when he left, or the deal, or what was meant to happen,
Yeah.
It's not happened. I don't know. The devil's always in the detail. Right, let's see if we can get some clues and sort of let GB take some notes if we hear the first part of Philip Clement's interview.
We're rounding off the camp here in the Netherlands. How's it been from your point of view?
It's been a really good camp, good circumstances. We had everything for ourselves here, so nobody to bother the players in between trainings or anything. It was really good for the group, for the new lads to come in and to be 24 hours, 7 days long together, and it was a really good atmosphere. They worked really hard. In between, they took the treatment with the physios. All the facilities were here to do that. We had good pitches to train. The weather was most of the time really good. One day it was raining a lot, but okay, that's part of the thing. And we had two really interesting friendly games. So it was a really good camp.
Yeah, the games out here, did you get out of them what you were looking for? They were good challenges, like you said.
Yeah, of course, you always want to win. We're all winners, but it's pre-season now. It's about giving everybody chances, and also building up playing minutes for the players. So players are not ready to play 90 minutes fully now, and to do all the trainings, not possible. So you need to put that in perspective. But you see every game the team growing, and that's the most important, and the squad growing. And beside of that, it was also important to have with all the players, so all 30 that were here, individual talks during this week. So it's been a very intensive week. So we had almost every evening these individual talks. So it were days from 7:30 until 11, 12 o'clock for the staff. So everybody's quite tired now, but that's the meaning of a training camp.
Yeah, as a manager, how important are those individual talks for you and getting to know the player as well?
It's crucial. Most of the guys I knew from the last 7 months, but it's to put everything clear, to speak about working points. It's also to speak about the good points, to speak about everything that we expect for the season from them. And it's also talks both ways. So we know also more what lives in the team and with the players to make things better in the club and with them and with the group.
The new players, how have they been settling in so far?
Yeah, super. So in that way, the squad has been really good. Also last season, of course, quite some players left already from the experienced guys. Like Lunny was important in that, and Ryan Jack and Borna and John McLaughlin. So experienced players. So we had to rebuild in a way to make the squad younger again. But they're settling really well. So you see it already on the pitch with several guys, and you see also with the individual talks, they feel adapted really fast, they feel integrated really fast because they're welcomed in a really good way by the players, but also all the staff. In that way, it's also important. The physios, the doctor, the people from performance, the technical staff, they've been really well with the players.
I know we spoke yesterday about some of the academy players as well who've made the step up this camp. How satisfied have you been with how they've dealt with that?
Really good. So most of them I knew really well because players like Robbie Fraser, Cole McKinnon, they get already playing minutes at the end of last season because they were training a lot with us. For Findlay, it was a new thing, but he did really well. Doesn't mean that he's ready already to be with the first team all the time, but it's a really good first step, and he's really motivated to come back, and that's the thing we want, to give them chances to make this step in between first team and the academy, step by step, that they can adapt. So for him it was an amazing experience.
Heading back to Glasgow now, what's next for the squad? What does the next week or so look like?
Tomorrow it will be a day off. I think everybody needs, because we've been now working 2 weeks without a free day, and everybody needs some energy again. And on Tuesday it will be training for part of the group. Part of the group will play a game against the second team of Leeds, and then we're going to build towards the game on Saturday against Manchester United.
Yeah, is it about continuing to build on what the squad have done here and in the last few weeks too?
Yes, on tactical things and also the physical level to raise it again. So one part of the team will have the game to do that, and the other part they will have 2 really intensive sessions on Tuesday and Wednesday that they will maybe go off on their knees of the pitch, and then on Thursday, Friday to go down a bit to create some freshness towards the Manchester United game, and to focus on everything, on the physical level of course, but also on the tactical things, on the technical things, and on the mental things to improve, and also to have a debriefing about the game that we had now against Ajax, and to learn out of our mistakes, and also to show what the good things are and the better things than we showed against Standard and against Hamilton, and like this build up the story.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Okay, Linda, what do you think for that?
Well, he sounds really positive and upbeat, and you wouldn't expect anything less from him, Ox. But I think, the way that maybe we've been feeling as supporters, just everything that's been going on with the stadium and the sort of perceived lack of signings, just things like that. You maybe start to think, what's the season going to unfold like? But he seems to be really happy with the players that he's brought in so far. They've had a good training camp. And he just, as GB said there in the chat, he sneaked in the fact that we're going to be playing a Leeds team on Tuesday. So very much just building up, isn't he, Ox? And it's all about making progress, and it's a balance between tough training sessions and then these friendlies to get everybody as ready as they can be for the beginning of the competitive games, I think.
And Bridge?
Yeah, much like Linda said there, I thought he was a bit edgy when he was speaking, but what he said made a lot of sense. I'm delighted to hear we're going to be playing them Leeds, so that'll be really good for them. That'll be a tough game, but a huge game coming up at the weekend, Man United. It's all starting to take shape. We just need the players to get themselves fit, or as fit as they can be. And with the exception of young Adrashkan, I don't think we're going to see him getting fully fit before long. It's going to take a wee while for him, in my opinion. However, they've got to do it. What we've been seeing up to now has been hopeful and look no bad. So I just wish every one of them all the best and get going with your pre-season and get it done and be really, really good in it and come out really clear. That's what I want.
Yeah. GB did sneak in. It was a Leeds second team, a training match. Yeah, I think it'll be Auchenhowie, yeah.
Aye, just another Browns game, just the Hamilton game and stuff like that, Ox. Just another one.
Some people who's known so many minutes, maybe, yeah.
Aye, maybe like say the Cortez and stuff like that, since they didn't feature the weekend there, Ox. I feel for him a bit, Ox, to be honest. Like I say, he seems positive about the squad going forward, and I hope he's got a plan, Ox. I really do. I hope he's got something, because let's be fair, it's only a couple of different signings in these different positions. We only lost a couple going out the door. I really hope that he's building something that we're not seeing, Ox, because it's a lot of the same team that's going to be there
well,
the start of the season.
We lost 5 of the first team squad at the door, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Jack, Lundstrom, Roof. I mean, I know they didn't, some of them didn't play well. Bonner and John McLaughlin. Yeah.
Yep.
And we pretty much replaced them by Jeff Day, Liam Kelly, Cortez, Diamande, and Conor Barron. That's what's happened in reality at the moment, yeah.
Yep, young boys.
Aye, yeah, younger, and people maybe see less wages, Linda.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the thing that some fans were maybe concerned about is that what he said is that some of the players that he's brought in, they're not ready yet. They might not be starters. I think he said that Conor Barron and Yefty are perhaps further forward in terms of maybe getting a starting
first team, man.
Yeah, I think so. Shit.
I brought the other boys in, the boy from AC Milan, and what he added to earlier on, we maybe hear a bit later that he's not quite ready to start playing, but that might be just getting his fitness to a different level than he's been before. But we'll see. You always bring the people in, and only time will tell, GB here. Only time will tell.
Oh, we've just got to go with it, Ox. If that's what it is, then the players have got to galvanise and take the kind of hurt for last season and go into this season with a positive attitude, just like the manager has, and try and build a system that they understand, and hopefully, like I say, we've got a team there ready to go and challenge for a title, mate.
Listen, if we get a level of consistency and we keep going, we want to improve in last season. That's our aim. It's got to be our aim every season. Linda, I thought Diamande did a decent game at the weekend. He gives you, I mean, we've seen it where he does some tremendous things, doesn't he?
He does, Ox, and I don't know whether we think that we would like to push him further up the park, because we've seen last year that he had a good shot in him, and he scored a couple of goals early doors, and he wasn't able to build on that. But there was a multitude of reasons for that. We know that the team started to not perform as well as they had, etc. But no, I like Diamande, and the manager rates him. And he's, he talks about how, in the future, he's certainly one that will develop here and could go on and, be an asset for the club. But I like Diamande, and you would like to see that, he could start to build relationships. And unfortunately, with Raskin getting injured there, that might sort of curtail that a wee bit. But let's hope somebody like Conor Barron can come in and work well with Diamande too, Ox.
Aye. Here's a question for you, Steve. Just change the subject quite quickly. And I'm not going to say that Conor Barron is going to be my next Gaza or my next Stuart McCall, but I'm just saying that it looks neat and tidy. So In your opinion, what's the best? Oh, I'll come back to it. I think we've been joined by a caller. I think it's your David. Evening, David.
Evening, guys.
How are we doing, mate? All right. Happy new season.
The Rangers are back. Can't wait for it to get going again.
What's on your mind, mate?
I'm just a wee bit worried about the stuff that's coming out. Then Philip Clermont coming out saying that he's having to sell players before he can buy any in, but Michael Beale got an open wallet where he's spending whatever he wanted. It's and the thing with the stadium as well. I've also had to look at the rules. I think there's a rule somewhere that says if you start a section of the tournament in Europe, you have to finish it within that stadium. So if the stadium's not finished quickly, they could end up having to play the rest of the European tournament at that stadium. So there's so many things that seems disorganised behind the scenes. It's unbelievable.
Well, I think there was about 3 questions in there, yeah?
Yep, sorry.
That's all right. Right, so we'll take the European one. We'll work our way back. The European one, and I haven't checked this. I'll get the lads to check it. But my understanding is it's stages of the competition. So we then have to get to the group stages, and then that's way in September, mate, yeah? And I think we've seen in the statement today they're hoping to have everything done before then. Now, something else can go wrong. I know that. They live in the real world, GB, but that's my understanding.
Aye, Carol. Sorry, David. I think the stadium side it and the European thing. So you just hope everything's done in time because Ibrox seems to be our wee fortress in Europe. I don't know how it would be in Hampden. I know we'd fill it and make an atmosphere, but I would much rather, let's say, if we go to the group stages, I would love to see the fans back in at Ibrox. If it's to be at Hampden, then we just got to go with it, mate. I think it's just one of the things. It's as disorganised, but I'm sure that the way things are, I think the board will be desperate for us to be back in at Ibrox because I don't really think they'll be wanting to gear up that kind of revenue that could come into Ibrox rather than get to Hampden.
You want to come back in, David?
It's just what I'm thinking is obviously if they're getting to that point where they're having to rush it, what I'm worried about is something could get pushed in at an accelerated rate and things are not done properly because it's building a stadium. It's not building something simple. Things have got to be done the right way the first time or accidents could happen. So I'd actually rather them take time and do it properly.
Right. Listen, mate, you've got to hope that you've got to, as assumptions, mate, but you've got to hope that the work will be backed off and the safety certificate will be handed down, mate. So people have got a responsibility because you're right. First and foremost, everything's got to be safe. Nobody could argue with that, Linda, could they?
No, you know, as you say, the safety certificates, etc. I just think it's a real shame and disappointment. This is something that the club were trying to do, and it was a positive thing, and it still will be a positive thing when it's completed. We're trying to improve the matchday experience for fans with disabilities, and if to be commended on that. And it's unfortunate and it's disappointing what's happened. And I understand David's point. You get worried about what's going to happen going forward and mistakes are being made. But let's hope that everything ends up being well and it's all completed. And, you know, if it has to run on a few more weeks, then so be it, as long as everything's completed safely. And then that matchday experience for the fans who are going to be sitting there at Ox, that's a positive thing. And it still will be.
Rich?
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. It's commendable what they're trying to do, and unfortunately there's been a wee bit of a mix-up somewhere along the line, and it may be a bigger mix-up than we're ever going to realise, because what I'm hearing is that Rangers are going to have to pay for a pitch for Hampden, and they've got to give Queen's Park compensation and pay whatever rental there is on Hampden every week, whatever that is. And really and truly, it's going to cost us a number of £1 million, that's for sure. I'm hearing 6 million at least, and that's going to go on.
You think it's 1.2 million to hire Hampden for again?
Probably more.
No, you have your costs that you would have to pay Ibrox. They'll get transferred over, i.e. you have to pay for the stewarding, you have to pay for that.
Absolutely, yeah.
You've got your running costs that some of the costs will be duplicated and they'll not be that. I don't think it'll be 1.2 million to hire Hampden, mate.
I think you're going to. Well, I think it's going to be.
It might cost you 1.2 million to put the game on Bridge, and I don't know those figures. But what would it cost you, Ibrox? Because you don't put it on Ibrox for nothing.
No, of course not. I understand fully. But as my obviously, as you know me, I don't want to give any of these people any money at all. So I think it's just tragic that the Rangers are somewhere along the line. Rangers are going to have to put a new pitch into Hampden. Wow. Well, there you go. As they've done it now.
Listen, David, I couldn't agree more. It was something that should have happened, or it should have been planned better. It's happened. We have to deal with it. We have to learn from it. We have to move on. And obviously, there will be questions at the right time to the board, and that'll be the AGM, and if no before.
Aye. It's just my other 2 points is Philip Clement coming out and saying he's having to sell players before he can buy any, and basically everybody but Jack Butland's in the shop window, but Michael Beale got an open wallet to spend what he wanted. It just, again, it feels like the board's lied to him. That's what it feels like to me.
Can I ask you something? We said at the start of the show, we're discussing it. I've got to come back to you now to bring GB in. Are you surprised that we have to get players out?
It's no, I'm surprised. It's more, I wanted most of them out anyway, because I'm one. I believe if we're needing to start a new era, if you start a new era, you have to get rid of the people that were there for that period of failure to begin with. But maybe he could have kept one or two or something like along day lines. But it's more like, I felt like when Michael Beale came in, the vault doors are open now. 6 million for Dessers, no problem, on you go. You know what I mean? It's like two different things to me. I don't get how Michael Beale got an open checkbook and
that's another debate, David. That could be a whole show on its own, GB, couldn't it?
Aye, yeah, because it was like it must have been like panic stations, like we've got today at this year kind of thing with him. Or he's promised the world. I mean, he's promised that these players will come in and hit the ground running. It's, you don't know what's been said behind closed doors. And again,
you looked him in the eye, GB. You looked him in the eye.
Yeah. I went and met him personally and all that. I mean, that's a thing.
Saturday night. Sorry, carry on.
And David, the thing as well with the comments with Clement, it's not so much about, we all know every player's got their price, right? But it's when you're turning around and basically saying, well, your captain's up for sale as well. Then, I mean, you've got a guy there who's been scoring goals for you, leading the charge all the time. So basically, to me as well, that tells you that Tap's time's up. Because if Butland's the kind of star man that's to be kept, then surely, like your captain, the guy that's been holding it all together, if he's sitting listening to that, he's like, well, if Butland's, why am I not in amongst next to Butland? That kind of thing. That's where I'm a bit confused with all. So I love that Clement's honest that he's kind of telling us what's happening. But on the other side, it does open up more questions than answers for me.
Everybody's for sale. Even Linda, we would bids, but the Sky's not come in yet, Linda, have we?
Oh, I don't know. I'm disappointed. The thing about it is that, I mean, is there any club that everybody's not available at the right price? You know, I just think in this day and age, you know, clubs are trying to generate money. You've got the financial fair play rules, the sustainability, profit and sustainability, everything. There's all these factors to take into consideration. So I wasn't surprised. The thing that I thought that he didn't maybe need to say, Ox, and whether it was taken out of context or not, as GB said earlier, was saying that he was under a different impression in October. And I think that's what has the alarm bells have rang for some of the fans. That particular part of it, I think.
Aye, I get that. The devil's always the detail. You would need to know, but listen, you might pick 5 players to go, David, and I might pick 5 different players. If you want to get 10 at the club, you can guarantee this. Nobody 10 the manager will want that you'll get the offers for.
I agree with that, but I'm just thinking that obviously I think Clermont's frustrations are starting to show a wee bit, because I don't think I've not heard them talking frankly about the finances like that beforehand, and he seems the kind of guy that's measured to me, and he's knows somebody to just fly off the handle when he's angry or something like that. And for him to come out and say that he was a different impersonation, seems to me as if lies were told to him, or something's changed within, something major's changed. It just reeks of chaos behind the closed doors. That's what it reeks of. Like, they got the CEO leaving, still no replaced him. Stadium still being finished in time, having to hurriedly rent a stadium for the SPFL or whatever they're called. It's just reeks of absolute mismanagement. I mean, you're mismanaged at the top, it's going to creep in down below. I'll put a question to your panel. Do you think your team, as it stands, is capable of winning the title this year?
You want a yes or a no answer?
Yep.
TB?
No, mate.
Oh, well. Linda?
No.
Oh, well. Bridge?
No.
My honest answer, I think we can win the league every year. Maybe Disney are. Yeah.
You always live in the hope, don't you?
Well, your heart tells you it.
And my head.
But your head.
Aye. Oh,
You need to put that vote in every week. It'll change every week.
You've got to hope that the manager can improve us, and we've spent at the moment we've spent more money than any team in Scotland. Yeah, I mean, I've got to remember. I just, maybe it's me, but Brian Jack, Paul Barisic, John Lundstrom. I've been on this show for quite a long time. John McLaughlin had disappeared. Kemar Roof. It was time for them all to go. You can't keep everybody and then sign 10 players and then say who we want to go. What does it work like that?
I think there's a problem as well with no selling assets when we had them. You think you go through the bigger ones, Morelos, Kent, Lundstrom at one time. Like there were saleable assets at one point. We've just let the contracts go on and on and on and on and on, and until they've left it at the door for free. But
I'll say it again, David. I'm like a broken record with this. If the guy doesn't want to sign that contract and wants to see his contract out, John Lundstrom done it to his previous employers and we took advantage, and he's done the same to us. If a player doesn't want to sign an extension, or you want to get rid of him with 18 months of his contract to go, and he decides to sit there for 18 months, you're knackered. It's not that simple, mate. And it's nothing to do with the board, the management, ever. If that guy and his agent doesn't want to move, you're knackered. We took advantage of it with Conor Barron, Linda. It works both ways.
Yeah, and the thing about that is as well is that there was times where the manager at the time had put his foot down. If you think about Gerrard, you know, Alfie was worth £18 million at one point, and Gerrard didn't, you know, he told the board that he didn't want Alfie to go. We could have sold him then. Ryan Kent, you could argue, probably could have gone perhaps maybe the season before when we won the league. But round about that time, it was all the uncertainty of COVID and all that as well, Ox, in terms of transfers. And if you think about the players that went out the door, end of contract this year, you've got Jack and Roof, who are never fit. So they would when would we ever have got a fee for either of them? You know, so I think it's easy to say that we've not sold assets at the right time, but there's been a couple that we have, and somebody like Calvin Bassey and Nathan Patterson, but it's not always just as straightforward as that, Ox, I don't think.
We should have scolded Roof the day after he scored that goal in Belgium.
You're right there.
Yeah.
But it is difficult. I agree 100%. It's very difficult to move
Every
people
club's
on.
the same, Bridge.
Yeah, everybody. But we went the points that's been made there about there's got to be an ideal time to sell a player and get whatever compensation you can for it. When they're at their height. Young Kent, and I loved him. He should have been sold when we won the league. 100%. Waves should have been sold. I was gone. He should have been gone. And we just failed miserably. Morelos as well, roughly the same time. He should have gone as well. You would have made a couple of bob off of those two, but they stay for 2 years and walk out the door.
Aye,
No.
and I get the frustrations, and I'm as frustrated as anybody, GB, but I understand the reality.
Aye, Ox, and I think that's where we're coming from with the team when we're asking about the whole. Do you think the team's good enough now to win a league? Well, let's face it. You said it earlier on. We've got rid of only a couple of players. We've brought in a couple of young boys. We've no ripped up trees and brought in top players here. I mean, there's boys that still got to have to come in and bed themselves into this league and stuff like that. And for me, with my heart, it tells me that we can go out there and challenge. But I don't think we've improved, Ox, and this is what we need to do. I mean, it'd be good to hear what David thinks if you've got a good enough squad as it stands now to win the league. But I just think the manager since he's came in has been always fighting with one hand tied behind his back, Hawks. And I think we're just got to have to ride this wave with the manager. We're going to have to back him, and no matter what happens, this is not on him because he's clearly wanting to try and build something. And I just don't think that whether it's with all these contracts that we're tied in with and all the rest of it, the man might just not get what he wants now. And this is what you keep hearing from him. It's like we're building for the long term. You know what I mean? So what does that tell you, Ox? I mean, is it back to the kind of when Gerrard first came in? When Gerrard first came in, I wasn't expecting us to walk in and just go and win the league. I knew he had a rebuild going on. I think this is where we're at with Clement. I think we've got a rebuild now, and you're talking year 2 and year 3 that we're definitely challenging. But this year, as it stands now, Ox, I think we're hopeful, but I think we're good enough.
I think these people have thought with the cry. I forgot what the cry was, mate. Yeah.
Oh, no, Ox, I know that. I know that, but again, we're talking about being. I know, but you're saying about being realistic, and I'm being realistic. Across the roads, we've got a solid team who know how to win, right? And granted, they might sell players and all the rest of it, but what I say is, we're meant to be the ones that's improving, and I don't think we've improved the squad.
Only time will tell, mate, because I don't know how good Cortez is, because I've not seen him often enough. Jetty's the same. Conor Barron, we'll judge him as it goes. Is there the legs in there to maybe replace Ronstrom? I don't know, mate. I've not seen him enough. You've got to just judge the recruitment on a bit of time. But it's going to be interesting, David.
The only one that I've seen so far that gives me a wee bit of hope is Barron, just because obviously he's played in the league before and he's got quite a lot of potential. But it's just, when you look through the team, it's the same, it's just copy and paste from last year. Who are you hanging on your hat on to get your result? Nobody. And unless we're bringing in, I would say at least 3 or 4 guaranteed first teamers, we're in a lot of trouble this year, guys.
But he's going to get bodies out the door, mate. That's the point he's telling you and making. You know, if we bring in another number 10, yeah, we've got Lawrence, Cantwell, yeah, we've still got Hadji on my boots. Linda, help me out here. There's common sense got to apply as well, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't have this squad that's there's too many players, and then obviously you've still got the wage bill as well. These players are all on good wages. I know we've got players out the door that were on a good wage as well, Ox. but it would be overinflated in terms of the numbers. I do think that if he does get a couple of players out the door and he starts to bring in maybe 2 or 3 quality players now, I don't know if we'll be going and signing any more what you would call kind of guys that could develop and project sort of type players. Ox, we're sort of crying out for some, maybe I say experience, but that doesn't mean to say that they have to be late 20s, early 30s, but players that we can identify with, players that have maybe...
Are you saying it's senior pros who are Rangers supporters? Is that the point you mean?
Well, I think there's 2 that have signed. Ox, if we signed Kenny McLean, right, and it's just names, and Lauren Shanklin, for example, right, if we had them in the door, say next week, and you asked us the same question, do you think it would be a different answer?
No, for me.
No, I know, I'm talking about the others.
GB.
No comment, Linda. I'm sorry. I just
come on, get us that bench, GB.
Well, to be fair, again,
you'll get a splinter.
We're sitting with the same defence, right? So for
me,
me,
the cry is no defenders.
No defenders, no midfielders. Ox. I mean, I know we've talked about Diamandi and that, but the young boy, he's talented, but he's no. I don't know, Ox. We've got Scott Wright as well come on the park and doing the same old. I just don't get it, Ox.
You're a big fan of Scott Wright.
Oh, massive. but it's, again, Ox, it's just, you've got Danilo coming back for injury. He's got to be rusty. Dessers was showing his same old self at the weekend again. I mean, it's play this movie again, Ox, isn't it? This is what's worrying me. I want to be positive. I want us to go in there. But the only time I've ever seen us ready for a start of a season was after we done that Lyon tournament. I knew as soon as we came out of that Lyon tournament under Gerrard, we were ready to rock. We were a squad understanding everybody's position, and we're a unit. And we went into that first game, and that was us. We charged on for there. But again at the weekend, you've seen players drop them in, drop them out, youngsters getting a run out and all this carry on. And for me, pre-season should be where you're getting your team sorted. You should have your starting 11 on that part, knowing who's got to be. Your captaincy's getting passed about like nobody's business. You had Connor Golson getting it, who didn't look interested. And then the other day you had John Suter. I mean, I know your captain's seemingly sitting there with an injury, but I mean, what's going on? Like, where is the consistency?
GB, it's exactly what it says in the tin for me. It's a pre-season friendly in an amateur part in Holland. Yeah, we went there a few years ago. We played the actual team that played there and beat them 8-0. It happened to be against the Ajax. It was a decent level opposition, but it's a bounce game, mate. And we can't read too much into the weekend. It's all about fitness. Bridge.
100%, yeah. It's all about fitness. These are the times when the guys go out and they see how good they are. Show them their own friends and neighbours in the team, their own teammates. This is how good I am, and so on and so forth, and how fit I am. And then they find out 2 games later. They find out if they were as good as if they were any worse than they were in the first game, or any better. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to find all these things out.
Some pros are very good in pre-season and don't kick out at the start. Some pros don't do nothing and explode when the real games start, Linda. And if you're gone on Saturday, you give Jack Butland a free transfer, wouldn't you?
Apparently he's safe, Fox, according to the manager. He's the only one that's no up for sale if the price is right. But I think if the price is right for Jack, he would probably be sold as well, and we would just have to accept it. I know where GB's coming from, but I'm not really at that point yet, GB. I'm still thinking it's pre-season. We've got another 3 friendlies to go, plus the Leeds game as well. It's all about trying to build relationships and find fitness. And I know it's Groundhog Day, Ox, because you just feel as if we've been like this for the last 2 to 3 pre-seasons. You've got to remember we're 4 managers down the road in the last few years, and it's all different, a mixture of all different players.
Oh, last year was a farce, Linda. It was. Olympiacos. Was that Olympiacos game? Yeah, when they battered the Ibrox, and then the managers came out and said they'd had them working that hard. They were on knackered and expected people to turn the Ibrox to pie and watch people that were knackered.
Yeah.
That was a farce.
It was a farce, Ox, and as I said, it's just a case of, it's very difficult for us though, because we're trying to be patient, we're being patient.
Aye, I get that.
We want success, Ox. It all boils down to that.
I just think GB has to pick his company and maybe on a Saturday and become more positive. GB, yeah. Get some new friends, yeah. Get a new bestie, yeah.
Oh, you know me, I'm always positive when I come on and that. But
I must have missed that.
Not like season's gone by, you know, I'm always kind of like.
It's not even started yet.
Glass half full and all that. I know it's no, but do you know? Are you not concerned at all?
Top your glass up.
Are you not concerned at all about how this has been going on during the summer and all that? We signing young boys and.
But have we? That was the question I was going to ask you. Now get it in quickly before we go to the tune. We'll maybe take David's third point who's left. It's because he has got a point. But see when, and I know it's too quick to judge, the young boy Barron's come in. What do you think is the best for people's progression? Going and playing all these youth games and playing these B games, or playing even on a lower level first team games every week? Because I know what I'm beginning to think it is. Bridge, you're the man of experience. What do you think for the development?
Development, 100%. It's got to come through. The younger ones, you've got to arrange more meaningful games. You know, even though they're friendlies, they've got to be meaningful at a certain level to see how they can stride out and do their thing. I don't want to get in there getting their face busted or their legs busted in any way, shape or form. Just out and play against standard opposition, something of the same standards as the players, or maybe slightly less, to give us a wee boost. Sometimes you're playing against Ajax are a really good team, you know.
They've got some good players,
Yeah. So we don't want to be doing that all the time. We want to be able to.
I'm not talking about that, Bridgman. When I see Barron, who's played maybe 100 games for Aberdeen, and he's in just first impressions, because I've never really watched him that closely against us. Yeah, because you don't. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, are they battle weary and ready to go under, or the development of your guys who have all this development put in, and then they get to 21 and they've not hardly played any football.
Yeah, they need to be playing, Ox, whether, as we said, if it's a slightly lesser league, but it's competitive and it means something, rather than sending them away to play these kind of not glorified friendlies, but they're away playing, against other youth teams. The other way is to get young players out on loan so that they can go and play clubs, play for clubs that are competing, and that might be a drop down, maybe a division as well, Ox, but it's got to be meaningful, competitive games, I think, Ox.
What are you thinking, GB?
I think, credit to Connor Barron, Ox. He walked into that Aberdeen squad and was able to hold on his shirt, for all that time. So that boy's been able to hold his own. Whereas when you look at Lowry, when he went out and loaned to Hearts, he wasn't able to keep a shot. Now, granted, it was a short loan and all that, Ox, and he ended up injured and stuff. But it just shows you, mindset, determination, drive to be better. That boy, Connor Barron's a perfect signing for us because he's coming into our squad, and you can tell already, interviews, the way he's playing in the park. See, if you give me another 5 signings, then you'll have my glass totally full like him, because that boy...
You've got to top your glass up.
that boy has got everything that I want to see in signings for Rangers, and if we get more of that, then brilliant. I'll be right behind it. But
what that he's topped his glass up.
Well said, GB. Well said.
And that's what I'm saying. He came in there at the weekend, and like I said, didn't put a fit rank. That boy's going to be a great sign for us, Ox. He's going to be one. He's got to be one of the ones that, like he says, we've probably fun of EGM, because the boy seems to he's wanting to be in Rangers first team, but you can tell that boy wants to go to another level as well, and that's what we need. We don't need nice players, Ox. That boy's got a bit of dig about him. Plus, he wants to be a winner.
when I watched like Cole and Alex Lowry and the boys coming on at the weekend, and they've all been about for a long time, but they're all nice footballers, let's be honest. They're no bad players, none of them are. But however, they don't look physically like battle weary or the right shape, if that makes sense, Bridget. Linda?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, pal, carry on.
Right,
Carry on, Linda.
Bridge.
Carry on.
On you go, Bridge. On you go.
Get ready to go to tune.
Yeah, I like to say that boy Connor Barron. I agree with everything that was said about him. He is going to be a really, really good player for us. There's no doubt about that. And I would, for one, wouldn't stop him. He's got to be playing every week for us. He's got to be playing every week in the top team. He's such a good player. We've played against him a couple of times. We've seen him with Aberdeen, outstanding in some games. That's the type of player we need. Where you could see it before he got here. You could see what your type of player that you're missing. And I'm afraid to say he was one of these guys that's been missing. So I'd give him another month and you'll see a huge difference in him and happiness and all the things, settlement. That's all needed. Let's do it for him. Let's make sure he becomes a really good player.
Right, Linda, we'll come back to you after the tune, all right?
Okie dokie.
Let's have a tune.
As we go marching down the Paisley Road, the west, the doors and the windows open wide. You will hear the people cheer, the Glasgow Rangers boys are here. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. Blue is the colour, football is the game. We're all together, Glasgow Rangers is our name. For we are the best team in all Scotland, and Glasgow Rangers is our name. So bring on the Celtic, your Hibs and Aberdeen, your Dundee United, we're the best you've ever seen. We play hand on heart, God save the Queen. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. As we go marching down the Paisley Road west, the doors and the windows open wide. You will hear the people cheer, the Glasgow Rangers boys are here. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. Blue is the colour, football is the game. We're all together, Glasgow Rangers is our name. For we are the best team in all Scotland, and Glasgow Rangers is our name. So bring on the Celtic, your Hibs and Aberdeen, your Dundee United, we're the best you've ever seen. We play hand on heart, God save the Queen. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. It's Glasgow Rangers for me.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Right, Linda, in you come.
Connor Barron, yeah, I mean, I was delighted that he signed as well, Ox. He had other options, and you just wondered if he was going to sign for us, because he knew the stick that he was going to get coming down from Aberdeen, etc. So, but he was asked about that, never batted an eyelid. As GP said, spoke very well and very determined to win things. And yeah, he's one of the ones. I hope they all do well, but Connor himself, a really promising player and one of the kind of outstanding youngsters in the league too, Ox. So yeah. Hope he has a good future.
The question I'm asking, Linda, is he an outstanding youngster? Because he's played all his first team games, whereas we've got, and other teams have got boys that have only played academy games, and there's the problem.
Yeah, as I said earlier, I think it would be better for our boys if they had actually played in more competitive games, Ox. That probably is the reason why Connor he looks the part now. He looks physically able to play, and he has got all those games under his belt for Aberdeen. I think he was he at Kelty Hearts on loan as well with, for a while too, and he got a lot of game time there. I think that was with Kevin Thompson. So he's got a lot of games under his belt, Ox, and I think our boys could do with that. And whether that's going out on loan or with, the B team playing a more competitive environment again, it's something that we need to look at, I think.
It's striking the balance, GB, yeah.
Ox, because obviously you still need that kind of quota in your squad as well. I mean, but I think I totally agree with you, Ox. I think, see, when you look at our academy players, they could probably walk into most squads in our league, but it's just getting the games, and that's how they'll improve.
Do they look physically ready to you, GB?
No, they don't, Ox. They, again, nice football players, but it looks as though boys that could get bullied off the ball. Whereas you can tell, I think I've seen a picture of Connor Barn when he was at Kelty Hearts, and you can tell between then and jump back to Aberdeen how much he improved, like physically and what I say is awareness and stuff like that. And this is what we've got. We've kind of got the finished article of that, hopefully, and then we can develop that further again. I think our boys really need to kind of look at that and see where they can try and help develop themselves.
Obviously, it's going to be injured, but the club have got to push them harder and develop them there. The academy, they need to be ready. These are your reserves, ready to take over if there's injuries. They need to be physically ready as well as football ready. Right, we'll hear for the rest for Philip Clement, and then we'll take David's third point, which was very apt about the stadium and that. I mean, obviously there was a statement today. So let's hear the rest of the gaffer's interview.
For you and your coaching staff, it is of course the first pre-season you've had here. How have you found it so far?
No, good. Quite similar than with other teams. And yeah, I've been a lot of times in this pre-season and in this way of working and the expectations from outside. So everybody expects that all the new players would be in now. And when I was young or younger, and I was first-time manager, I was also nervous about that. And now I know it's not possible for sure with Euros or World Championship. So you need time. We've been looking at a lot of players last weeks, last months, had a lot of talks. Some deals we could do, some deals not, and everybody's working hard on that also.
There's been a lot of noise around the transfer window, the transfer market. How do you assess where you are at this moment with the squad and where you have been with the transfer business?
We're not there where we want to be end of August, but I don't think it's in one team in the world the case, and I know everywhere supporters want that. But it's not possible. So everybody's working hard on that. How fast those things go, you never have control of that, because it has to do with yourself, what you can spend. It has to do with other teams, if they want to let players go and how much they ask for that. And it's about convincing also players. So there are several players who are convinced that Rangers is a good place, but you still need negotiations around that. And it always, starts a little bit later after Euros also, because now team starts to train, manager give chances to players, and a little bit later on it will be more clear which players can stay or can go somewhere. So you never know how fast things go, but I'm not a young manager anymore, so I know that that's reality, and we work hard with the players who are in the building. That's really important, and to be ready with everybody who's in the building. The first game that we have to play, the first official game we have to play. And then we will see if there are still players coming in. Now, next couple of weeks, if it's in August, you don't have total control on those things.
How important is patience, obviously, in such a busy time as the transfer window to get the right business done?
It's crucial, and I know for fans, it's a little bit like playing Football Manager or PlayStation, so you you think everything is possible and at the moment, but that's not the reality. I think the most important thing is that everybody is aligned about the plans, the board, recruitment, me, the staff, about what profiles we need to grow as a club, to become better, and not only short term but also long term. That's an important thing that people need to understand also. There are several older players who left the club who are not at their peak anymore, like Sean McLaughlin, like Borna Barisic, like Ryan Jack, and they're replaced already by young talented people who do already good things. And like I said the last week also to the journalist, there are some who are more longer term, like Clinton Yasiala. He will not be ready directly from the start, and you have others who can step in directly but will grow and will become better next couple of years, like Connor Barron, like Yeftin. So those are all different things. I think the best example in that way is Diomande. He came in January as a young, talented player who can grow in this club, who can be important, who will be important. And if you see the game of yesterday, for me, he was the best player on the pitch against Ajax from the two teams. So those will be the players who will be big assets for the future also. At one moment you can sell them, and because of that you can raise your budget. So those are things we need to look at, not only short term but long term, and everybody's aligned about that, and that's a crucial thing.
GB, that man speaks a lot of sense.
Well, I've certainly not been playing Football Manager, that's for sure, Ox. But Ox, there's still things that drop in there that concern me, like players that need time to grow and all the rest of it. You don't get time in Rangers, you know that.
If you bring 5 players in and they're at a certain age profile, mate, he's trying to be honest, in my opinion. He's trying to be honest. He says you've got to deal with today, and he's telling you that, yeah. He's replaced 3 guys who've been in the squad that he thinks were over the hill, and he's replaced them with younger guys with legs, whatever you want to dress it up. And then you've got somebody you've got to try and develop, the odd one, yeah, and see where it goes for you. You're thinking about tomorrow. You've got to constantly do that. Some work, some don't, mate, yeah. You know, for every Conor Bassey, there's an R10 that don't work. So that's football, mate.
To me, Ox, it sounds like he's saying August has obviously got to be a big month, and hopefully that is where he gets most of his work done. But again, that's you're starting into the season then, and for me, it looks as though we're going to have to be splitting it kind of 2 parts now. We're going to be having to stay in the race into December, Ox, and then hopefully the new signings will have that time to bed in, and they'll start to flourish come the turn of the year, and then hopefully they're ready come that charge into the title for me.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a quick question? Quick, simple question. No nothing. No try to be sarky. Can we beat Hearts in Tynecastle? The opening day of the season?
Where the boys will go for the weekend there?
Well, what boys have we got? We've replaced them with internationalists, mate. Who have we lost?
Well, you think about it. If you're going to start with what we started at the weekend there, Ox, that's...
You can't, mate. That was 2 teams put together and there's players no finish. We don't know what our first 11's going to be. With the whole squad, there was 30 players there. You've got to pick 11. We've got to Tynecastle, first game of the season. Can we beat Hearts at Tynecastle? Yes or no?
Yes.
Of course we can. Linda.
Absolutely.
Well, so they're the 3rd best team in Scotland. What have we got to worry about, Bridge?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing to worry about. Just go out and beat them.
Exactly.
But Ox, I think we're brushing there about what we've seen last season. Like, look what happened with them at Hearts and all that as well. Like, these players have shown that they switch off. I mean, look at the goal with Ajax as well. They didn't even play at the whistle. I mean, they should be switched on to all that and making the same mistakes that we're seeing day in, day out. And that should all be ironed out, Ox. Just for me, that's just what's concerning me. As much as we're going into the next season with these players, it's the same guys that have let us down, Ox. And you, like you say, kind of get them out the door. Philip Clement's trying to G them up and get them ready. But for me, what I say is there's got to be more, Ox. I'm really hoping, like I say, I see more come these next couple of games that tell me that there is going to be a fire in them, there's a challenge there in them. Just not seeing it, Ox. I don't see any changes. I don't see something that I didn't see. Like I said, Colin Barnes looking like a promising player. Yefty looks all right, but see up front, Ox, same stuff. Struggling to score. I mean, we scored for a free kick at the weekend. Bit of class with Tom Lawrence, but Tom Lawrence against an injury-prone player.
You're basing all your thoughts for next season on the Ajax pre-season game?
No, last season, Ox. Like I says, last season the way they were. It's missed it. I mean, you're only talking a couple of players of a difference. It's going to be going into the start of the season if the manager doesn't get any more signings in. And that, I don't think that's... I think we'll still be so inconsistent, Ox. I think that's what it is. We'll struggle to score goals and there'll be the odd switch off with either Conor Golson in the back or somebody doing something stupid at the back, no watching the whistle or something like that. I mean, I think the same mistakes are still going to be there. And unless the manager gets people in who's got to be a wee bit more classier.
Before he gets people in, he needs to get people out. He's telling you again, Linda, it's coded in there.
But that's what you're going to go in with, that, Ox. That's what I'm saying. You're going to go with the same ones then. So why do we expect that there's got to be something different then? If he can't get players out, what's the difference going to be?
He's brought in Jeff Day. Hopefully Sterling will be fit. Diamandi's a relatively new player, even though he did. You've got Danilo coming back, who we don't know how good he is. You've got Corin Barnett coming in. We're okay in the goalkeeping department. There's 6 players. Yeah.
Up front, who we got? Dessers. We've got Matondo, inconsistent. On the right, we've got Young McCausland. You know what I mean?
There is positions that we need bodies in and players, but we're number 10s. We've got Cantwell, we've got Hadji, we've got Lawrence, yeah. And how much did they offer us the last 2 seasons? But to get people in, we can't go and sign another 2 of them, GB, and then have 5 of them.
But that's what I'm saying. We've got to be playing players that are no interest at Ox. Right. Todd Cantwell's no interested. Lawrence is injury prone, and Hadji is made it clear that he wants to find another club.
Aye, so the price is going to be right for us.
Aye, but if it's no, then we're stuck with them.
That's what happens when you get contracts, mate, and there's repercussions all the time. Bridgman.
Aye, it's a really difficult stage, and you're asking questions. It's a number of weeks before the season starts, before the pre-season finishes, and another number of weeks before the season starts. It's going to be difficult, but I think the manager's going to get them all into line. And if he gets them all into line, then we've got no fears. Certainly no fears until the big one when we play them. My fear is, if you call it a fear, is that we don't take well to playing our home games at Hampden. That's my fear. We'll go to Tynecastle, got a game on. Maybe we'll win or lose, it doesn't matter. But if we can beat them, I think we can beat them, and I'm sure that every other Rangers fan can. We could put 11 players out there, no matter who they are, and they should be able to beat Hearts because they're Rangers. That's my attitude for these games. Make no mistake, Hearts are going to give us a hard game. Every team's going to give us a hard game. But my fear is about playing at Hampden, playing our games at Hampden. I just fear that. I don't know why I can't get it in my head other than I just fear it. So it's going to be tough for us, but we've got to get the players right, and the players have got to be given the chance to get right, and so on and so forth. And the manager's got to do his business. That's all. I can't say any more than that. As far as I'm concerned, it's going to happen.
Remember who we're playing at Hampden? We're playing Motherwell and Ross County. If we drew them in the semi-final of a cup, we'd think it was a bye to the final. 99 times out of 100, Linda.
Yeah, I think there's games there that are to be won, but it's because I think that the lack of what we would call sort of marquee signings, experienced players that we can identify with. I did say that earlier, but you asked us whether we can win a league, win the league with the squad that we've got. That's a sustained so many games. That's different from saying, can we win the games at the beginning of the season with the players that are there? But see the transfer business, Ox, he said we've managed to get signings in that were deals that could be done, early doors, freedom of contract, and we've obviously managed to get Igaman over the line as well. We've paid a fee for him, and we've got Yefty in.
Cortez and Diamande. They've come out the budget.
Yeah, Cortez has come in obviously on loan with obligation, and Diamande as well. So he's explained it. It's now like you're looking at players that perhaps are under contract and we're having to negotiate with clubs. The Euros is just finished as well, so we might start to see some transfers that will then have a snowball effect, Ox, because there's not been a lot of transfer business so far for many clubs. So we might start to see a kind of ripple effect to that. So I do think that we've got to be patient, but I can also understand that a lot of us think that we would like to have maybe had a couple of more signings. However, you're right, we need to get some players out the door. And let's say, Ox, I don't think for a minute that there's not negotiations going on. They're working hard behind closed doors, and they're not going to tell us everything.
Another thing I know is if you want to get somebody out the door, you've got to get them fit in your pre-season, GB, so that when other teams come in, they'll say, right, we'll take him because he's fit. It's a catch-22. It's mental. It's a mental industry.
Aye, Ox. No, I agree, bud. Well, I hate being negative. Right? It's just not me, right? But it's just, and I know we need to keep these boys fit. But it's just, see when you're just, like says, you're seeing things like Todd Cantwell, one of our probably best players, Ox, and clearly he's sitting there getting pushed out the door. Now, granted, he might generate some money, and that's where the manager will grab that. And
when was the last time Cantwell consistently kicked him off for us?
No, but he's one of the better players. He's got talent. He's got something that, like says, if he's in a starting 11, you think, well, there's a chance there that he could create something for us to get as a goal. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. If you're putting him up against, say, for talk's sake, Scott Wright, who would you rather have in the team? You've got to go with Cantwell, haven't you? But clearly, he's not going to be in the plans, Ox, for what's happening. And this is where just, like I say, the concern comes in for me. I just want the manager. I don't want the manager to cut his nose off to spite his face, if you know what I mean. If he's got to go into the start of this season and he's got to be weakened, then he's got to use what's in the, as he's saying, he's got to use the players that's there. And I think he should be using the best talent that we've got in the club, and instead of just frozen them out and gone with hopefully young talent that might turn it up. I mean, like it says, the inconsistencies were shown last season with young guys. It's possible going into this season with the same ones that there will be inconsistencies again, especially.
So you think the problem is we should have Cantwell on the team? You think he's the answer?
No, but I think if he's going to go into the start of the season with nobody better, then he's got to have him in the team, because at least Cantwell might create something special that wins you again and keep the pressure off, you mean? Because you think about it, he goes into that team with guys that are wet behind the ears and all the rest of it, and say we draw against Hearts and it snowballs. I mean, it's just, like I say, it's not the way I want the season to start. I want us to start strong. I want us to start with an understanding. I want us to go in there fighting. Like I say, we're going to have to play at Hampden and all the rest of it. Let's go out and take these negatives and make them positives and go for it. But like I say, the team's got to show that.
Why are we worried about playing Motherwell and Ross County at Hampden?
Because we've shown, not so much at Hampden, Ox, but we've shown in the past that we love to drop points to these silly teams. You know what I mean? And we're just not a consistent team, Ox. If we had showed a bit of consistency, then I would say aye. I mean, Common did have that spell as well when he came in, but between that and Beale, the team shows that they can go for only wee small periods, and the next minute they end up switching on.
Aye, Boy Starr makes that point. He made that about Beale. He had the run, and then the wheels come off for Common. Aye, he's made that run. Yeah, he made that point a while ago on the show. I think, my own view is, Linda, that the manager, Cantwell's no his type of player. That's what it looks like to me. I don't think he fancies him much.
I would agree, Ox. I don't think there's any secret around that. I just, I don't know if his off-field antics helps Todd. I mean, I would love Todd to succeed at Rangers, because you want everybody to do well. But I tend to think, Ox, if there's a potential offer for Cantwell, I think he'll go.
Anyway, talking about offers, we've been joined by the master of the offers. Evening, Stephen.
Good evening, folks. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm very positive. Looking forward to the new season. I think I'm the only one right enough.
Hi, Stevie.
How you doing, Han? All right. Well, I was going to come on and start by Buenas noches. We Nacho's been learning me a couple of bits of Spanish here Saturday, there, no? Right, listen, you're the only one that's positive about the season because I'm not. See the way I see it, Ox? Last season, Ross County done us up there. Motherwell, they drew with them. I can't remember. I think they drew with them and dropped points and all. Right, I get. It's a new season and we should be looking forward to it. But Ox, I've said this time and time again on this radio station. We need a bit of iron. We need a bit of dig in the midfield and in our defence. There's nobody attacking balls at corners. There's nobody attacking balls at the other box, the opposite way. We've no iron in the team. I still think we need two centre halves. We need an iron, a right solid midfielder that will kick somebody for you, do the dirty side of the game. And depending on Delio, how he starts the season, I still think we need another right good centre forward. Right? And that's just how I see it. And where they're coming from, well, God only knows that the fact that has the board done enough to get the money? Have we done enough to get people out the door? I know it's hard. We don't sit in the boardroom. There's questions that will always remain unanswered. But I'm not happy with the way things are. I'm just not happy at all. And I've got to say it how it is. Normally I'm on giving it. The cry was no surrender. It's easy to say that, but you've got to say it how it is. We're in a wee catch-22 now.
Linda's got a couple of names for you. It might solve some of the problems. Linda, you've got two names.
Lauren Shankland and Kenny McLean, I mentioned earlier on, Stevie. If they signed, would you feel a bit different? Plus maybe another couple? And it's just two names, Stevie. Just two names.
Listen, you're never going to get a return for your money. The business side of things with Shankland, no. But would I want him in there to do the business? Yes, he would do the business. I think he would. Aye. Kenny McLean, is he any better Lowstrom? You know, is it the same scenario? An old woman with a pushchair passing him halfway through the season? I just don't know. Wee Connor Bannon looks good, or the same. I've got to say, the wee man looked good there, but you're only seeing him. You know, it's all these pre-seasons. We should have been getting carried away. It's getting minutes into legs. You're not seeing the true situation. I feel sorry for the manager. Some of his comments, he's kind of letting the cat out the bag a wee bit, letting the Bears know that he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I feel a bit sorry for him. But listen, it is what it is. I'm going to say it. The only thing we could do is draw a line, just try and get behind the team. It is what it is. There's no sense in us all falling apart at the seams, ripping the club apart at the seams. I'll be there on Saturday. And by the way, every game I go to, I want to see the Glasgow Rangers winning. Even whether it's a friendly, whether it's tiddlywinks or what it is, the women's team, I want to see them winning. Every game matters to me, especially when you're paying £40 plus you've got to travel through to Edinburgh and that. Well, there's no people sitting on the couches just saying it doesn't matter and everything else. That's not right. It does matter to every Rangers fan. It's gone there and paying their hard-earned cash. I want to see Rangers winning no matter what in a friendly. No, but listen, I've got Ox. Normally I'm on to own the Rangers, get behind them, but look, we're a wee bit of a kerfuffle now. The stadium thing doesn't really bother me. The stadium thing doesn't really bother me whatsoever. But getting the team that we want on the park's the main thing for me now, and I don't think we're getting that at all. I think we're clutching at straws.
See the two names that Linda's mentioned? Right?
Yeah.
I only want them to sign if the manager wants them.
Yep.
That's the only thing I want. If the manager thinks he can get better, let him do it, yeah.
Yep.
If
Well, it doesn't have to particular. It doesn't have to be day two. But you're wanting somebody we know. We don't want somebody in the league we've never heard of for peanuts. We're wanting a player that we actually know, and you're going to maybe spend 4 or 5 million quid. I know that's crazy to think and say, turn around the other cheek and say, we've not got that kind of money, we need to wait till we sell somebody. But that's down to the board. Sure, where's all the bells with money, all these billionaires? Where are they all?
It's financial fair play, mate. It's the wages. The wage bill's too high for our turnover. Yeah, you've got to
surely it must be coming down, getting rid of the roof, Johnny Lowstrom and etc. Surely it must have come down a bit by then.
But not as much as you signed, because you gave the contracts 3 years ago. The young guys that you're bringing in, they're not coming in for nothing, Stevie.
No.
Yeah.
Listen, I get the pros and cons. I get it. I listen to May shows. I listen to all the other pods, and I've been listening to everybody. I just hate the fact that I like to keep things in-house. That's the kind of bear I'm a. I don't like coming on platforms and running the board down, running the team down, the stadium, and just, it's easy picking them apart, and that's the easy thing to do. You know, it's easy to lift a rifle, but it's hard to put it down, as the old Indian chief says. But the bottom line here for me is it's just so easy to make it easy for the dark side to come on all our networks and listen to us all picking the bones. Yeah, no, it's not right for me. I just want, I'll be there on Saturday, cheering my team on to the best of my ability and everything I've got, me and my son, and we'll put my money in. We're my jails, we're season ticket holders, but you name it, we're doing it. We're trying to better our club, and we'll sing our hearts out, and it's all we can do. For the sake of Big Phil, we've just got to back him and go on with it. When do we stop ripping each other apart and moaning it about everything? When do we stop that? There's still a good bit of the transfer window left. Just let's wait and see what happens.
Maybe playing devil's advocate, Stevie, because obviously, and the frustrations are coming for support. GB can come in next, because we keep making the odd error. Yeah, and I'm not talking about just the football side of things. We keep making an odd error that makes the front and the back pages, you know, the stadium. Look, if they had planned it and told us, look, it's going to take up to the 1st of September, maybe would have batted an eyelid, because you've got to remember what we're doing. But when that doesn't go to plan, people get critical and annoyed, embarrassed, whatever you want to dress it up as. And that's it. We need to stop making errors. That's what we need to do. And that will help us improve. Help us improve. Yeah.
I've said this before. Do you know what we need? We need Rangers men with balaclavas and shirts and ties on the board. That's what we need. We need guys with balaclavas, with ties, the way they've got it, propaganda. They hammer it in right through their club. They do everything to defend their club and everything else. I've said it a million times, but I don't like coming on here saying it. But everybody out there's got their own opinion, mate. They've got their own opinion. Mine is, what do you do as a supporter? What can you do to help your club? I go and pay my money. I go and support my team. That's all I can do as a supporter. And that's all I'll remain doing. Now, you're talking about errors. Can I mention one? GB went up to the barn Saturday and ordered 6 pies, unknown to myself. And I went up and bought 10. So 16 pies get delivered to the table. Man, I was in heaven. Absolutely heaven. I couldn't believe it.
I did hear, and I heard a certain Spaniard had his celebration of pie before Sunday night's football.
Oh, by the way, I'm telling you right now, that wee man can eat. He'd 3 pies. I was starting to look at him. I was starting to growl at him. You know what I mean? It was one after the other. Every time he'd a pint, he'd a pie. But listen, brilliant day out. GB won it on Saturday. Absolutely great. All the Rangers radio boys on the one table. I'm sorry for the ones that couldn't make it. But brilliant wee day out. But listen, I'll let you go. I just think we need more iron in the team. I think Clement needs a bit more backing for the board. And it's down to guys to get rid of the Deedwood. There's been Deedwood there for years, but we've let it go on too long. We really have. There's been gross dead. See, Gene Tav and Golson 4-year contracts, that's gross negligence. That's idiot stuff. Whoever done that, it's just...
It wasn't forget it. It was a 4-year contract for Connor and a 2-year extension for Tav.
That's right. Right, okay, boys, what else can we do? We just go to Saturday, we'll get Man United, let's get more minutes into legs, and let's hope we can beat them for the sake of the support to give them a wee lift. Every game matters, every minute matters when you're a bear. Just get behind the team. If you've got a couple extra bob, buy my gels, trying to help the club, buy Rangers TV, buy the strips of merch. That's all you can do. Thanks for having me. Buy the pies, yes, that's it. But listen, that's all we can do, boys. And GB, good to see you Saturday, pal, and I'll catch up with you again, all right?
Aye, cheers, Steve. It was good to see you, mate.
Right, no problem. What about people asking me to sign autographs instead of me? Naturally, he was raging, wasn't he?
I know. We're pointing them to the right celebrity, Stevie boy.
It was brilliant. A good laugh. Wait, I'll tell them this one wee story. So we're in the Loudon, and B Nacho says, "Where am my photograph up here?" So we're looking round. Bear in mind, there's only one but open. So there's no photos of Nacho, and I went, "Hey, you're there." And he went, "Where?" I said, "There." He said, "That's Rod Wallace." I said, "Is that no you when you first got off the plane?" And he was pure howling. He was absolutely howling. But, brilliant laugh. We had a good day out, a brilliant laugh. But anyway, what a man the wee man is. I wish we had him in his prime, eh? Wee Nacho, the goals he scored.
You could play him in the right-hand side of the team now, yeah?
Aye. He's still got more fire in his belly, just let me tell you, and half of them there now. But listen, thanks for him and his troops, and let's get behind the team. It's all we can do. We can moan and groan all day. Big Phil's stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's doing to the to help him out.
That red, white and blue one back up you.
Right, good night. God bless every one of you. Come on, Teddy Bears.
Cheers, Big Stevie.
That's fair.
Cheers, Stevie.
What I do agree with Stevie is I think Bridges' point is I think we could do with a centre-half coming into the club. Yeah.
Oh, please, please.
Again, I've not got the answer. Linda?
A centre-half, 2 quality midfielders and a striker that we can all relate to. Somebody that we know can bang in the goals.
I don't know where she's gone with this one, GB.
See the 2 players I mentioned. If they were under freedom of contract, I think they would already have signed for us.
I think so.
They would be heroes, and I know their ages and their profile and everything else, but they could do a job for us just now.
All right, I think we've been enjoying the Mandy. Mandy, all right, Mandy?
Right, Oxter, how you doing?
All right, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm just phoning in. I usually agree with what Stevie says, but I'm a bit annoyed tonight that
that's my job. Mandy, you tell him.
He gets fed up with armchair supporters. Well, I work in the NHS, and 2, I don't always have the money to go where I'm working, but I put every single penny I can, everything I buy my kids, everything I buy my husband, everything I buy myself. We go to the shop and we put money into the team. Also, not everybody can afford to go to the games every week. And 2, also, what about the people who are sitting waiting in season tickets? It's years for even get one season ticket to get one. It really annoys me because I spend every penny I've got, and so does my family and my boys and my husband. We spend every spare penny we've got in that Rangers shop to put money into that team. So I don't think it's fair labelling the fans who really, one, can't afford it or who can't get there. I don't think that's fair.
Life gives everybody different challenges, Mandy, yeah? Yeah. Everybody's 100%. Circumstances are different, eh? You know,
but it doesn't mean I don't love Rangers, because other than my family, that's my world, is Rangers.
No, listen, you can always get a new husband, but you're stuck with the Rangers for life, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? GB.
Aye, that's it. Mandy, I think, like say, Big Stevie wears his heart on his sleeve. And I don't think he would be derogatory to any Rangers fan. I think he's just meaning like where he can just help out, and I think he knows that, especially like yourself, where you're saying you're putting every penny in that you can and stuff like that. And we're the same. I'm the exact same. I'm trying to bring up a family and all the rest. I've not got the time to go to every game and every weekend and stuff like that. I've got pure soft place and all that to go to and stuff. So we're all in it together, and I think what we're trying to drive to is just, like I say, hopefully a successful Rangers team, and hopefully we'll see it this season. As Oxford says, get that glass full, GB, and charge on to the season, and hopefully, like I says, in the next couple of games we'll see it. I just want to see a structure, and I want to see goals, Ox. Clement mentioned at the weekend.
I just want to see one more goal in the other team every week, Linda.
I just want to see trophies. I just want to see trophies, and I just think a lot of the negativity and the way that we're feeling is purely down to the fact that we haven't won as much as we would expect to, Ox.
We blew the league, Linda. We blew the league. Yeah, we did. We
blew the league, and
we blew it.
And I think last year, Ox, when he came in, we didn't expect anything from him. We thought if he won the couple of cups and there was a chance of that. We didn't think it was because we got ourselves into such a great position, and then we blew it. But GB's right as well, because some of those players are still there, but we can't get rid of them all. And you just hope that the ones that remain from last year, that we either they don't want to go, we can't get rid of them, whatever way it works out, that they knuckle down and they actually perform well for us, and that the new players that come in, they'll be a risk as well. It doesn't matter who you sign, Ox. But I think it's purely down to what we've been through in the last few seasons, and just the lack of success that affects the way that we think, I think, as well, Ox.
Oh, and the mindset. Mandy, you want to come in on that? Oh, she must have left us. No,
is Mandy still there?
No, she's gone. Bridge, in you come, mate.
No, I was just going to say, based on what Mandy says, and I agree with J. Gaz. It's just, I don't think Big Stevie meant anything nasty to any fans. He's not that type of guy. Just as he said, just try and do what you can for the Rangers, which we all do. Some of us can't afford very much, but we try our best, nevertheless.
Not talking about you, Bridge. I know what you.
You're going to talk about did you say you've started talking about that and I missed it, or the games, the away games? Have you talked about that yet? Sorry.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, obviously Stevie came in and Mandy came in. Look, we're on this together, GB, anyway. Everybody's lives are different, and circumstances and what people can afford. Everybody's different,
Of course, Socks. What it says, every fan. And look what our board are trying to do with the stadium now. They're trying to put in disabled access. You know what I mean? We're all trying to do the right thing, and even Clement, to a certain extent, he said that he came in and he had different feelings about what he could do with the club, and now he's got a different reality, but he's in it, he's accepted it, and he's on board with trying to improve Rangers for the long term and the short term. So again,
is that not his job?
Myself,
is that not his job as a manager? He's got to look now, but he's got to look for tomorrow as well. Is that not his job?
Aye, to a certain extent, Ox. I think, I don't think he's expecting to rebuild a full football structure. I think he was maybe expecting to come in and just manage a team and improve it year after year. Whereas I think he's looking at his signings for, like say, the young boys that have came in. He's looking at he wants to tie them down for a long period of time. So for me, he's looking now long term. I mean, you're talking 5-year contracts to some of them. Does that mean Clement wants to hang about for the 5 year and see it through? Then hopefully
all the results will sort that one.
Aye, no, that's it. But again, I think Ox, depending on what happens with the start of the season, maybe we just need to give him a bit of time as well to build what he's trying to build, short term and long term. I mean, I think he's got his heart in the right place, and he maybe knows that some of these boys will be inconsistent, and we might just have to give them a bit of slack with that. But as long as, like I says, they're there and thereabouts, then I think the Rangers fans will be there with him.
Aye. Listen, it's a team effort, mate. And obviously the support and everything's important. The fans are important. Buying the merchandise, then do what they can. I get all that. You know, people always kind of go as often as they like for different reasons. You know, it's life gets in the way sometimes. You know, I think Stevie and myself would be the first to admit that. You know, we understand. You know, but we're all in it together, Linda.
Yeah, and I don't think Rangers fans could ever be criticised, you know, for in terms of people accusing us of not supporting the club. Ox, I think we've supported them through thick and thin. We've put up with a lot over the last few seasons. You know, we thought after winning 55 we were going to kick on, and we didn't. But there's circumstances that have contributed to that. The changes of manager, you know, all these different playing styles. Players coming in, as I say, changing a manager like in October, like so many years in a row, it's a lot to deal with. And as I said earlier, I just think if we had won a few more trophies during that time, and let's face it, Ox, we could have another few cups under our belt. We've thrown away a league. So there's been disappointment there because of that. But I don't think, you know, we stick together, and I know we can have our disagreements and we can complain about things, but we're entitled to, we're fans, you know, and we're entitled to do that. But the manager, I think, Ox, is trying to manage our expectations a wee bit there in terms of talking about the rebuild and, you know, players coming in that can make the club money, talking about the short term and the long term. So I think he may be trying to manage our expectations a wee bit, although he's no daft, Ox. He knows that we'll be expecting them to win things, and rightly so.
Aye. And let's go for Mandy. If you put your phone on mute, Mandy, try again. Try and come off. Says you're still with us, but try again. No, okay. Aye, well, it's going to be interesting. Well, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. GB is a season. You need to get it right. And I think a lot of the negativity comes for about March time, mate, and the wheels come off for whatever reasons, mate. And that I think we've still got that hangover, you know, for that, and we've not kicked it. And I think you've still got a hangover for Saturday because you were out with the big boys, mate, and you've not kicked it.
Aye, that and the season, mate, definitely. Ox hit the nail right in the head. That is what's probably worrying me, is that the way certain players who are trusted in the squad underperformed in that kind of running, and who are still. I mean, Clement said at the end of the season, he says this is the end of the cycle. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Clement, I'm looking at the squad now and I'm still seeing the cycle there. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm concerned. I just want things to move on now. I want us to start afresh, because if it's a fresh team and that's what he's happy to go with, then I could back that. But if
would you accept another 3 or 4 going out for 3 or 4 new players coming in? Would that mean? Yeah, would that do you?
Aye, because then I know that it's his players, and hopefully he knows that they're going to improve it. You know what I mean?
Okay, I think you might get that as things develop. Wonder.
Yeah, I would agree, Ox. Another 4 out and 4 in would probably be all right. You know, I think that you know, we could buy into that, and if it's players, as I said earlier, that we can identify with. That players that we know and that we've maybe read about, or we can see that they've done what they've done in the game. I think most fans would be okay with that, Ox. Yep.
I have to agree there. I have to agree with Linda there. Absolutely.
Oh, can I just say something, please?
Oh, you're back.
Yeah.
Hello, Mandy. You're back.
Where have you been?
Sorry, I was listening about my dog. No, listen, I really like Big Stevie. I think he's a great guy. I usually agree with everything he says. And I'm not having a dig at him because I know he's a brilliant guy. I know his love for Rangers is as much as ours. I know that. So please don't think I'm having a dig at him.
No, I'm sure
because I'm not.
I'm sure that.
I'm
Trust me, he's
definitely
got
not.
big shoulders,
I just
but
mean
he'll
that-
not take offence, yeah?
No, I just mean that circumstances and money and bringing up kids and work commitments, it's not always possible. But my love for Rangers is as much as anybody's. Absolutely love Rangers. So does my boys, so does my husband. We're all Rangers.
You never
fans.
answered my point about you can get a new husband, but you're stuck with Rangers for life. You never answered that one.
I said, no, after 40 years, I don't think so. Nah, I
take
don't
that
think
well.
after 40 years it's going to happen. But, no,
Is that
listen,
what you,
I love
is that
Big
what you,
Stevie,
you
but
mean you try before you buy, Mandy? Is that what you're
aye,
doing?
it's one of them. I love Big Stevie to bits. He's a brilliant, passionate guy, and I think he's amazing how much money and time and effort him and his boy puts in. But not everybody can do it, and that's all I was trying to say.
Listen, not everybody can afford it, but Stevie would be the first man to say that. He recognises that.
I know he would, and I know that I'm no nitpicking. Please don't think I'm Stevie because I'm no, but no every armchair supporter can afford to go. But we pay the money and we pay for everything that we can and we put it into the team. I don't spend my money. In all the years that Ashley was here, not once did any of my family or us buy a Rangers top or anything like that. We never done anything like that. We never put any money into his pocket. Now we buy as much as we possibly can. I'm in and out Ibrox all the time. You know, we spend every penny that we can. And Steve is just blessed and fortunate that he can afford to do it and he's a season ticket holder. I would love to be that, but in my lifetime it's never going to happen. Do you know what I mean? I
never say never.
How easy things happen.
Never say never. You never know, no?
Yeah, I don't. Probably not. On my bucket list before I die, right enough, I want to go to a Rangers Celtic game, but we'll see. But thank you so much for taking my call.
What was that last point there? Say that again. What was on your bucket list?
I said to go and see a Rangers and Celtic game. It's my 60th this year. I get married on my 20th birthday, so it's my ruby wedding as well. So on my bucket list before I die, I want to go to a Celtic and Rangers game. But it needs to be at Rangers Park, not at theirs Park.
Oh, we could get you a ticket for their grand.
No, you're all right. I don't want to go to their grand. Thanks very much.
Right, we'll take that on board.
Thank you so much for taking my call.
You never know. You never know.
I know.
Thanks for the call. Listen, and thanks for all your support you give the show, yeah?
Always, Ox. I run home from my work 5 nights a week to get onto this show as quick as possible. I'll say to my husband, hurry up, come on, hurry up. What are you driving so slow for?
See,
you and your
typical
bloody
woman.
Rangers radio.
Typical woman. The guy's either
I
going
know,
too fast,
I know.
too fast or too
But
slow.
thank you so much. You've all done a great job, including yourself, Stevie. You're brilliant, and thank you so much for what you do for all the fans. And I know you do a lot for charity and stuff. So thank you.
Cheers, Mandy.
Cheers, Mandy. Good to hear from you.
Cheers, Mandy.
Yeah, thanks for phoning in,
Linda,
Mandy.
Thanks, Bridgeman and Gary and Oxchair. Thank you so much for taking my call.
You're a celeb now, Mandy. Sometimes we don't realise, do we, Bridge? We've been doing this for a long time, me and you, do we?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
It's really, I think since the horrible thing that happened to us, every Rangers fan that I know have been desperate to put as much as they can in. We've all tried to support wherever we can and do whatever we can to get the club back, which we did with massive help from shareholders and things. But we need those shareholders, wherever they are, to come back in and do the business again and help us out, I think, you know.
Listen, Bridge, we've got a lot of wealthy men on my board just now. The trouble is, it's the football rules.
Yes, I know, pal, I know.
With the turnover in Scotland, we've reached a ceiling and the wage bill get too high and we've got to do it because of the football rules. If another multi-billionaire walks in the door, it's not going to increase our turnover. Yeah, and I think that was the point that Stevie's going to make. Everybody does a wee bit better if you can. It helps improve the whole place. And it's hardest now because they take on board GB's point that everybody's suffering with a hangover. GB.
Pass the Red Bull. Ox, it's just why they hangs. I think folk are scared of watching the same movie again, Ox. That's what it is. It's just, I think when Clement gave folk a bit of hope saying that's the end of the cycle, I think everybody was kind of, right, we're on board here. Board's got to back him. Clement's got to get all these players out within the end of June. And we're going to have a brand new squad sitting there ready for the first game of the pre-season. And unfortunately, we'll just have to kind of curtail the expectations. And as Clement's saying in his interview that, well, it says the business might run into August and stuff like that. Well, it says, as long as they're organised, Ox, and they're showing that fighting spirit, for me, then I'll be there. You know what I mean? It's just, I just worry that he's got to be going into it with two hands tied behind his back. And like I says, it's hard. You know what it's like, Ox, you and Bridge and all that. He's doing multiple shows throughout the season. It's a tough gig when, like I says, you're struggling against teams that you should be smashing. You know what I mean? But I just hope, like I says, this season maybe Clement's got something up his sleeve that will galvanise the squad.
All right. Well, we'll reach that bit in the evening. Time in the evening. It's quite quick. Wonder, isn't it? Pre-season, we're only getting the tongues and the lips warmed up. That sounds really bad, but you know what I mean.
We've still got another 3 weeks to go before the first competitive game, so we'll have a lot to talk about. But
hopefully GB will in a better mood by then.
It's that hangover, Ox.
Drink with the wine, people, that's what it is.
I'm going to put something out here, right? I'm going to put something out here. My phone's been busy the last few minutes. Mandy, if you're listening, you touched a few people in Rangers Radio through a certain person that was on the call earlier on the night. Your tickets are sorted for your 60th birthday, for your bucket list. It's done.
Well done.
Oh, outstanding,
Superb.
It's done, Mandy. We'll phone you after the show. We'll phone you back. There you go. Nobody else start that. We can't get that many tickets.
No, the bathrooms can, Ox.
Oh, dear. Yes, go bathrooms.
Go bathrooms.
Any of your bathroom supplies, you know where to go. Right, last word of the night, GB.
Oh, it's good to be on, and like you've cheered me up, the panel tonight, and yourself and the techie team in the background there. Like I says, I'm actually more positive by the time we finish the show tonight, so thank you for that, and you all have a good week.
Yeah, you done, Linda? You done?
Yes, a good show tonight, Ox. Glad to be back on in the new season, getting the new season underway. But we'll need to buckle ourselves in, Ox, because there could be some good times ahead, but there might be a few bumps in the road, as our manager would say.
Well, the bumps in the road are gone. He's got to smooth the name out now. Bridgeman, over to you.
Oh, what can I say, Ox? Thanks for having us on. Fantastic. I've thoroughly enjoyed it tonight. Really good. Some really funny lines tonight, Linda and GB. Can I just say thanks to your techie boys in the background? They do a smashing job, they really do. And for GB and Linda for carrying me through it. And can I just say to all the Rangers fans that are listening in here tonight from all over the world, you heard a nice wee thing that's happening. Somebody's going to have a 60th anniversary and a chance of getting a home game at Ibrox against Celtic. Should be
whoa.
That'd be fabulous. Just fabulous.
60th birthday, 40th
60th birthday, sorry. Apologies. You know what I mean. Good luck to you anyway. Well done. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans once again, every single one of us, please, start a new season's coming up very quickly. Keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers really need us, and they so they do badly. Keep it going.
Yep. Thanks to David, Big Stevie, Mandy for joining us. Always great to hear for all the calls. The calls make the show. Thanks to GB, Linda, and the Bridge for doing the show. Fox and Old School both for doing the technicals. Rangers Radio will be back on Friday night as we build up to the pre-season and the Man United game at Murrayfield on Saturday. Thanks for listening. Take it away, old school.